Okay, that was always the first thing I learnt when I got into computing, was that if it doesn't work, switch it off and switch it on again. So I suppose switching it on is a first start. Okay, right, how do you follow washing machines and Lego? I have no idea. So it was actually really quite good. I thought it quite creative. It got me thinking about a lot of different things. So this is complex. This is Website Performance 101. It's what you've all been waiting for all year. I never thought I'd get a chance to actually give a Website Performance 101 talk, but here we are. I hope you're all listening. You all learn lots from this. Now, what happened was in November, a colleague of mine, Alex Painter, who I work with, wrote an article about top 5 web performance mistakes. And what I decided to do was to suggest to Perry that we gave like the lightning talk here on the top 5 web performance mistakes. And to do that, I thought we'd actually start thinking about, well, let's put these into order. What makes them important and what's not? So we had a little straw poll in the office and we came up with what was more important and what was not. So I'll be interested to see if you agree with this. So let's have a think about what we want to do. We want to have, at the end of a year, a chart. So what I've done is I've got a chart. And what we should be hearing now is the volume, which clearly isn't, because it should be going 5, but it's not. Okay, so all of those you remember Thunderbirds would remember that's what it did. No, don't worry.
No,
I'll improvise, it's okay.
I've turned something off.
How I'm going to do the music for number 4, I have no idea. So number 5 turned out to be not removing redundant content. Now there are hundreds of things that Alex could have chosen, but he chose this as one of his topics in the top 5, or a very important topic. Why is this important? Well, we've all got websites, we've all grown them over time. What makes a website is content. And what happens is we very rarely go back and refresh all the content. So that's the concept of number 5. Go around, look at how to remove content out of your page. It is in the top 5 that we see for lots of problems in websites. Now, that's not saying there's a lot of very good websites. In fact, I'm sure you guys all do very perfect websites. But we do see a lot of websites in NCC across not just the UK, but across the world. And it's amazing how much web designers use probably their washing machine to do their design. Come up with very complex solutions. So let's move on to number 4. Now, this was a surprise to me when we actually did the ordering of this, because I thought this would be a little bit higher, because almost every website I come to, it's JavaScript. People are falling in love with JavaScript. Why? It's just another programming language. It clogs the internet up. It clogs web pages up. It's just too much. Think about it. How much do you actually run on any single web page? Yet we create templates that have JavaScript in that go from one page to the other page to the other page, and probably use about 2% of it. But it runs, slows things down, clogs up the internet, clogs up your web page. So moving on to number 3. Unoptimizing images. A few months ago, there was a really good talk here given by, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, but Perry probably remind me. Cornell, yeah. Talked about images.
In the room.
Is he? Well, yes, there's a gentleman there. It was a really good presentation, and it was spot on, because it is one of the big topic items. Everyone forgets about their image sizes. Unoptimized. Well, we'll talk about a little bit more about, or we'll see how this actually affects some, one of the higher numbers in the numbering here in the chart. But here, you know, this is a quick win for a lot of sites. You know, there are easy win options, not just in CMSs, but CDNs provide solutions as well. So this is not something that couldn't be quickly fixed by a lot of companies to actually save for themselves. So we move on to number 2. Not prioritizing important content. Well, Thunderbird 2 had a pod, and in its pod, it always had the right thing for the right job. And that's what you should have on your web page, the right thing to deliver the right right picture or the right image or the right message at the right time to the user. And we don't do that. When we think about all those web page tests or your performance analyzer of choice that gives you the your strip out which says every 100 milliseconds I've got a blank page, and then all of a sudden after about 6 seconds I've got a little bit showing here, and then right over on the end here at 10 seconds, bosh, I've got my page. That's because we haven't prioritized our content. In fact, if it goes a bit further, you can go into Google Developer Tools and you'll probably see why this white space is going on. Down here, all this stuff is nicely building up, and then all of a sudden you've got your viewport showing what you want. So not prioritizing your important content is pretty important, because that is where the reason why we came in with number 2 for that. So, any guesses for number 1? Third party? No. One more. No? Okay, all out of ideas. No one wants to get it wrong. Well, I'm not surprised, because it's not optimizing for mobile visitors. And just like Vandenberg one, he wants to go off, solve all the problems in the world before he's actually worked out what the problem is. And this is where your washing machine comes in, because that's what designers do. They get this view, they get this picture, they get this great project, say, go and design for our site. They create this one model, and the vogue a couple of years was, let's do it mobile first. And so they create mobile first. But what you tend to find is they create a web page and they make it responsive, but they actually don't think about all the things that what mobile visitors need, which is, you know, lower page bandwidth, lower page weights. You know, they want faster, smaller images and optimized images again. Right? So all of these things actually lead into this. So what you should really be doing is actually building and designing for your viewports, having multiple views of how you want to build your website and delivering that. So there we have it. I always wanted to say this, and now I can say it. Number 1 at Christmas is not optimizing for mobile visitors. Da, 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 da. So it only leaves for me to say, fast websites, I'll go.